Okay, so today we're going to take a look at Manjaro, Community Edition of LXQt version 20.0. So this has not got the 0.01 or 03 update yet, so it's still on 20.0, but it's Archer, we'll just update it and we'll be good to go. So the sort of main premise of this is obviously it uses LXQt with the Qt5 toolkit, and it uses Kvantum theming manager to provide you a consistent theme across both GTK and Qt applications, so you get a nice uniform look, which can kind of be a bit hit and miss with other LXQt desktops out there. And it also uses OpenBox as its Windows manager. So what we're going to do is install it straight to a disk. Once this is installed, I'm going to install OBS on this actual host machine here, and I'm going to record straight off of this. So we're on the installer now, standard Calamares installer version 3.2.23-1, and we go for British English, and we want Europe, London, yep. Okay, so we've got a disk with Blue Star Linux on it, which we are just going to completely erase, and we're going to go for swap with Hibernate. I do like that it gives you the choice there. No, we don't want Hibernate. It's too small of a disk to have Hibernate on that with the amount of RAM that we've got. Okay, so that's going to give us standard again. It's pretty much the exact same as it is the Arch based distribution using Calamares, so it's exactly the same partition layout. So we get 300 megabytes EFI, 110 for the root, and then 8.8 gig for the swap. So we're going to go next, and we're going to type our user accounts as per usual. Okay, so we're going to log in automatically and use the same password for the administrator account. Okay, so I don't really need an Office on this little sort of run through, so we're not going to bother, but your options are FreeOffice or LibreOffice. If I was to choose one of the two, I'd choose LibreOffice, but we're going to go for No Office Suite and go to next, and just quickly glance at these options here. That all looks good to me, and we're going to install. So what I'm going to do is, once it's installed, we're going to quickly get a sort of a RAM reading straight away before I install anything, and then we're going to jump over to OBS on this actual machine here that we're installing onto. So the time is now 12:38. I'm going to pause the video here and we'll see how long it takes. Okay, we're all done now, and it's 12:41, so it literally took 2 or 3 minutes to install, which is pretty good indeed. So we're going to reboot it now, and we're going to jump into the desktop. I'll have to quickly set up a screen mirror, but I'll do that off camera. And then we'll get a RAM reading, and then we'll install OBS, and we'll switch over the OBS recording to the actual computer that we're using here. So bear with me. Grub screen looks a bit grim, to be honest. It looks a bit like the Deepin kind of grub screen. I'm not a massive fan of how blown out it is. It hasn't got the correct resolution there, but we're going to go straight into Manjaro Linux. And the screen will refresh, don't worry, to the correct resolution. I just want to show you how blown out that grub selection screen looks. Okay, so we're booting into the desktop now, and I will quickly change the display. I know I was going to do it off screen, but I wanted to show you the grub screen there. So I'm just going to go into the fast menu, unified view, yes, apply, yep. I'm not going to bother saving the unified view though, because what we're going to do now is open up HTOP if it has it installed. So we're using 680 megabytes from a fresh install. I would have thought it would have been a bit lower than that, but it might be because we've got a few things starting here, so I won't judge it on that just yet. We'll get one nearer towards the end. As I say, it's dropping down now to about 605, back up to 643. So what we're going to do is very quickly install OBS, and then we'll do an update afterwards as well, and then we will be recording off of this actual computer as opposed to the capture card. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording now, and when I'm back we'll be using this actual computer that we're on. And we're back. Right, so we're recording straight off of this actual host machine now, so what we can do is have a little look around. The main things I want to take a look at is how it's actually ordered the theming along with Kvantum, as well as the OpenBox settings. So what we're going to do is just have a quick run through of what we've got installed. So we've got the Juff Ed text editor. This is not one that I'm familiar with at all, never used this before. So you get a little document name there. Well, interesting, I've never actually seen this in my life, to be fair. So that's just the About Qt settings. Can we get the About? There we go. So this is version 0.11, but we are going to do a quick update. So let's open up the update manager. We don't want to save that. So there we go. We can get a little update going now. As you can see, we've got a little icon there. Okay, so there's quite a bit to update. So that's 957 megabytes, not too far off an entire gig there. So we're going to update that now. Type in our password, and that's going to do the good stuff. I can't see any minimize buttons on this window, strangely enough. So they are there. How strange. Okay, cool. We're going to let that do its business. So we're just going to minimize that by clicking there. Right, so let's keep going. So that was an accessories. Anything else we'll have a look at? Kvantum Manager we'll have to take a separate look at the moment. PC Man FM is your files manager. Compton for your screen compositor as well as Picom. In graphics you have LX Image, Printer, Screenshot and your document scanner. Office, because we didn't choose an Office suite, we just went for no Office suite. Alternatively, you would have had LibreOffice or FreeOffice there, but we just have the email client, which is Trajita, however you're meant to say that, and QPDF View. In other, you just have HPUI Scan. In sound and video, we installed OBS, and then we also have VLC as well there. So, in System Tools, it comes with HDrop out of the box. You get your Q terminal, you also get a drop-down terminal. What is the default? Default is just your normal terminal there, which uses ZSH. Yeah, ZSH. As your shell language. And then is that all we've got for system tools? Yeah, pretty much. So your preferences will just be your LXQt settings and stuff, which can all be found in your configuration center here. It also has Kvantum in there as well, and also your OpenBox settings. So we'll keep this open. In fact, we won't keep it open because I'm going to do a reboot after that update has taken place, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. And then you also have the Qt5 settings here as well to change sort of the theming, look and feel of stuff. So fonts, icon, interface and style sheets. So let's see how our update's coming along. So it's not too far off, so we'll let that keep going. So while we're waiting for that, let's see what wallpapers it comes installed without the box. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the desktop preferences on LXQt. It's very basic and you don't really get a good view of what you're using. So we want to go user share backgrounds of wallpapers. So let's go into computer, which will be let's go to here. User share backgrounds, where are you? Wallpapers. So we can't really get a good view of what we've got there, can we? But let's just grab any old random one for now. So let's go for this Manjaro Simple Dark. Let's open that, click apply. Oh, and expand it across our desktops there, so it looks very stretched out. So if we go to here, so what we got? Stretch to fill entire screen, stretch to fit the screen. Let's see how that one works. Nope. Fill with background color only. Center of the screen. That's just going to put it in the center of the two wallpaper monitors, isn't it? Zoom to fill the entire screen. Okay, that doesn't look very good at all, does it? Fill with background color only, so that will just be the color. We've tried that one. Tile the image to fill. Are you ready for some tiling? There we go. So that's now correct on both screens, so we've got that working as it should. Not a bad wallpaper actually, quite like it. Right, we'll leave it on that wallpaper for now. We'll have a little look around at some of the other ones potentially after a reboot. Okay, so how is our update coming along? No, it's still going there. There is quite a lot to get there, as you can see. So we'll have to just leave that to do its business. So let's have a look at PC Man FM, which is your default file browser. It's got a very simple look, but it always tends to be kind of positioned in a way that's a bit awkward, so I like to move it around a bit. Let's make that a tiny bit bigger. So as you can see, the theming's quite consistent across the entire Windows here, but the top bar here I'm not a massive fan of, and that will be set in OpenBox. Okay, it doesn't want us to actually search in this bar here for some reason. There we go. So if you go into OpenBox settings here, changing this will change the look of that bar at the top. So we're going to very quickly just show you how it works. There you go, so that's changed it entirely, and it was on Onyx. And then the focus window will be dark, and then the unfocus window will be like a lighter color of that theme. So I'm going to leave it on the basic defaults for now, because once that update's installed, we are going to try out a few different themes there. What's going on here? It seems to be stuck on this update. So it's on 8354. We'll give it a few more minutes. If not, we'll have to take a look at what's going on there. So let's minimize that again and close that off. So here's your panel at the bottom. So let's go into the panel settings and see how they set that up. So if we go into configure panel, okay, so the panel settings isn't too bad on LXQt, I find. So here's the widgets there where you can add a few different widgets and sort of quick launches and things like that. So as you can see, you've got a quick launch for your terminal and PCMan FM, or is that an open window? No, it's a quick launch. So your desktop switcher is here. At the moment it's only currently giving us 2 desktops. So here we can change the number of rows, and then so we've got 2 desktops there, but if we wanted another row, you can then see it will go up and down as well, but we don't like that. We just want it to be left to right. So we seem to only have 2 desktops there at the moment. So if we can go into the settings, can we get a 4 desktop going? So where is, it's called Configuration Center. There we go, LXQt Configuration Center. So we've got the appearance there, we've got the monitor settings. Is there anything for the actual workspaces? Doesn't appear to be. I'm sure we can add them at some point now in a different setting manager somewhere. You also have your power manager, add or remove software here. Software updates can all be grabbed here as well, and then you also have your shortcut keys. I'm not quite sure what the default shortcut keys are. Well, there they go. So you have some shortcut keys to even open things like Pac-Man, so Control, Alt and E. Let's give that a go. There you go, so that will open up your file browser, which is PCMan FM. You could obviously change that for a different one if you wanted. Let's try one more thing. So what's the drop down terminal? Do we have a command for the drop down terminal on here? Not that I can quite see. No. We also have a show desktop, which is Control Alt D. Let's give that a go. There we go, and if we do it again, will it show the windows? Brilliant, very nice indeed. Okay, let's see what's going on with this update. It might be that I have to pause this video and sort this update out, and then we'll come back to it once it's done. So I'm going to pause it now, and hopefully we can come back and sort this update out. Okay, and we're back. We had to manually intervene with that update and just do it in the terminal, but it all seems to be good to go now. Let's just open up the Pamac GUI and just make sure everything's working as it should. So if we go to updates, there we go, we are fully up to date. So I'm not quite sure what the problem with that was, but it did just stall on that package update, but we managed to get that going, so that's not to worry. I am slightly confused that there is no minimize and sort of close buttons on here, so you have to interact with it down here if you want to close things like that or use a keyboard shortcut. Now that is done though, let's have a look at how this all theming works, which is the main thing I want to take a look at. So as I said in the beginning of the video, it uses Kvantum to maintain a unified look across the whole sort of Qt applications and the GTK applications. So if we open up, say, the appearance setting as well as, I don't like the way it sort of, it's quite hit and miss, this search on the sort of little launcher here. It does seem to have a problem actually registering your inputs here and there and then disappearing. So as you can see, the default theming that we are using for the GTK is Matcha Dark C. So if we go into change, delete current theme, it's using the same thing in Kvantum. And then if you go into the LXQt settings, it's just got the system here. So we're going to try a couple of things and get a nice unified arc theme going. We'll see how much luck we have with that. So let's give it a go. So let's open up the graphical user interface for installing packages. And let's see if we've got the AUR repository enabled by default. I very much doubt we will, so we'll do that quickly now. And then we can grab some different theming for it. So let's just enable that and click close. Okay, so let's see what comes up when we type in arc theme. I do believe there's an LXQt theme for arc theme that Manjaro provides somewhere. So there's the arc GTK. I'm sure I saw one. Let's type in arc Manjaro. There we go, arc dark LXQt Manjaro. So we can build this theme from the AUR now, so we'll do that. And then we're also going to grab the GTK theme for arc. Well, we'll see how we go. Right, so that's already installed, so we'll have to close that and reopen it. So now if we open up that appearance package again, we should now be able to select arc dark on the LXQt, which we can. So if we click that, that should change the panel. Okay, it has changed it slightly, but it doesn't seem to be quite correct. So if we go into the panel settings, configure panel, Right, that's why. So they've got their own custom background colour. So what we're going to do is enable the arc theme in Kvantum. So let's just quickly do that, and then we're going to do a colour pick theme of the desktop and then get the right colour. So arc should be in here by default, KV arc. KV arc, there we go. So we're going to apply this theme. Oh, we want the dark one, not the light one. There it is. Okay, cool. So now what we're going to do is go back into the panel settings and colour pick this colour here to set that as our colour. So what we're going to do is go into here, pick screen colour. We're going to grab that, add it to the custom colours, click OK, and there you go. We've now got the correct arc colour on our panel there, and we can also change the opacity, but we'll leave it relatively standard like that. Now what we want to do is make our application windows look the same. So what we're going to have to do is get out of all of this. Let's go into widget style. So in the GTK theme, I don't think we're going to have arc in here, so we're going to have to download an arc theme for the GTK. We might be able to grab it in here. There we go. So there's the arc GTK theme. So we're going to build that as well. So it's going to grab quite a lot there. So the spell dictionary, Inkscape. God, do we need that much? I tell you what, let's just do it. We're going to do it, who cares? Right, that's going to do that. And then what we want to do is go into the open box now. Open box settings and see if we can get a correct looking theme for here. So they've got KV arc already on there, so that should turn this top bar into the arc look. There we go. So that's already looking a whole lot better for me. So once that GTK theme is done, we should be able to get things looking a bit better. So at the moment the GTK is still on match a dark sea. Right, I'm just going to pause the video and let that do that, and then we'll be back in a moment. Okay, that's all finished downloading. So if we close that and reopen it, we should get the selection there appearing. So if we go back into appearance, right, hopefully arc shall appear. There we go, arc dark, and we'll do the same for the GTK3, arc dark. Click apply. We'll have to close the. Let's close this one here. There it is. Let's just close that. Right, let's see if programs all looking the same. No, so the LXQt theme for this isn't looking quite right, is it? Why is that then? So we want arc dark LXQt Manjaro, icon theme, that's fine. Widgets are in arc dark. See what the Kvantum dark looks like. There we go. We have now got arc looking as it should across all of the applications. Now we're going to test that with a few applications. So let's open up Firefox. There we go, Firefox is looking as it should. And let's try something else. So let's go for the Qt5 settings application. There we go, everything is looking as it should. That is kind of looking pretty good, to be fair. So my main complaint of LXQt has always been the theming side of things. There's not really a lot of themes going for the Qt, but everything's looking as it should really. Even the menu here is looking very nice. I like it. Okay, let's just make this look a bit different. So let's get our panel to the top. So position top of the desktop. Bang, perfect. And we want to make it a whole lot smaller. Let's bring it down to about 26. Nice. Right, let's get some icon themings now. So if we go into the internet, Firefox, and let's go for arc icons, and let's grab them. So we'll download them into our icon folder. Whether we've got one or not, I don't know. So we'll quickly have a look. Okay, so we've already got the icon folder there ready, so that's all good. Let's open it up on the extended display there. So we're going to extract that into that folder. Let's go to home, show hidden. So what's already in icons? Nothing, just default. So if we extract that there, extract. So we should be able to get the arc icons looking as they should. Things like OBS won't change unless you manually change it in the .desktop file, though it's a bit of a nightmare, OBS. Okay, so hopefully if we go back into the appearance setting now, we should be able to get things looking a bit nicer with the arc theme. There we go, arc icons Obviously not all of them will work because there are some icons that won't actually take effect. So what hasn't? If we also grab the Mocha icon theme, that will hopefully be able to pick up some of the ones that it hasn't actually got an icon for. So Mocha icon and Arc kind of inherit each other. So if you have both applications installed, you should be covered for the most part. Right, that's doing that. So while that's doing that, let's have a little look around of our desktop now. I think that's looking much better already, to be honest. I am just a sucker for the Arc icon. So we've got no icons there for our notifications, so that might have to be changed. So if we go back into the preferences now, so in the Manjaro settings manager, you'll have certain things like your kernel and things like that that you can sort out. So you've got your language package, user accounts and keyboard settings. And how is that command going in there? Right, that's done. So let's go back into appearance. We'll have to close it and reopen it though. Right, icons. So what I'm going to do is do a reboot. I'm just going to make sure Mocha's there. So I'm going to apply it and then just go back to Arc. And then what we're going to do is do a reboot, check what the RAM usage is now. We have installed a few things though, and we've built some stuff in the AUR, so it's going to be a bit higher than what it would usually be, but it shouldn't be too different. So I'm going to pause the video now, and then when we're back, we'll do a little RAM reading, have a final little look around. So they haven't got snapping on the desktop, it just changes the current desktop that you're on. You can change it for keyboard shortcuts though in your LXQt RC file. I don't know if they have it out of the box. No, so before we reboot, let's have a quick look at the RC file. So if we show hidden files and go to .config, as you can see we have got some missing icons there, so we will have to have a look at why that might be. So there's OpenBox, and as you can see RC comps are here, and changing these you'll be able to sort of set things like keyboard shortcuts to make the windows snap side by side and things like that. I have an RC file for LXQt somewhere on a hard drive somewhere, because I used to use LXQt a little bit back in the day. Right, let's stop this recording, reboot, and then just wrap it up there. Okay, so we're back in business. The RAM usage is pretty good to be fair, so it's 554, and that is with us sort of intervening and installing a few extra things there. So out of the box it will be a whole lot lower than that. So the icons aren't working brilliantly, to be honest with you, with the Arc icon theme there, but I didn't think it would pick up everything. So what has it got? It's got things like VLC, so a lot of the GTK stuff will be there. Trajita hasn't really. So what we're going to do is just go back into the default theming for the icons. So let's open up appearance once more, and then just change it back to the default, whatever it was. Was it Papyrus? I think it might have been Papyrus. Let's go into the Papyrus icon theme, click apply. There we go, so we've got our icons back up the top there. But anyway, that's been Manjaro LXQt. I actually think it's probably a bit better than the Ubuntu LXQt at the moment. I think it's probably been fleshed out a little bit better, and the inclusion of a few things like Kvantum and additional theming there makes it a nice, more uniformed desktop, to be fair. And that is my main complaint with LXQt. It just seems that there's not a lot of uniformity to the way things look across applications, but for the most part this has done a pretty good job of it. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.